Art has been a passion of mine since I was a little kid. Did a lot of drawing and painting as I was growing up through high school. Took some studio art classes and really loved art. But when I went away to school, I went to Southwestern College, a small liberal arts college in Kansas. My plan was to major in biology, pre-med. As soon as I got there, they kind of did away with the art program, and I didn't really have any outlet for my art, and I really missed it. I graduated with a degree in biology education and taught school for a few years and really missed art. I didn't have any way to really bring that art back until I found glass. It's amazing to me that all these things that I'd done in my life, the biology, the science, the math, and the physical side of it, I'd done athletics since I was very young and played college basketball. All this stuff kind of came together and unified itself when I found glass. It has everything that I really, really enjoy. Just an amazing material. When I finally was able to get my hands on the glass and start to blow glass, I was completely amazed by the whole process. The heat, the flexibility of the glass, and I had a really good grasp of how the glass worked. I feel like that's because of my science background. I had a great understanding of how the glass would move and what it would do before I even started. As I was learning, after just even a few months of blowing glass, I realized that I wanted to be able to create my own work. I wanted to open my own studio. That came about fairly quickly. When I opened the studio here in Benton, that's when I really began to flourish. So in 2003, I bought this building here in Benton, Kansas, and really, it was a mess. The entire building was a woodworking shop, and when I took it over, there was sawdust and wood everywhere. It was a mess, but I could still see through all the sawdust to the shell of what I wanted. So I cleaned it all up through hard work, lots of help from family and friends, and a lot of respirators and sawdust. But, you know, it was a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that sort of work too, to make things my own. But once it was all fixed up, I couldn't be happier. My wife, Gwen, and I met a long time ago. We were high school sweethearts. She's fantastic. I don't know any other way to put it. She's allowed me to do something that I love and do it for a full-time job, get paid to do it. When I first got started in glass blowing, she was super supportive of me. I was teaching school, had a great job, a steady paycheck, but when it came time for me to make the decision to make the leap into glass, she was 100% behind me. She basically just allows me to create works of art. And I guess more than anything, that makes her a work of art too. We started this business, Infinity Art Glass, about 15 years ago, and we were trying to make a decision on what the name should be. It was really an easy decision. I wanted to have infinity in there. That's one of the things that Gwen and I had used for years. Anytime we'd sign a note on a card or whatever, we'd always put infinity. It only made sense that this is our business, and I wanted it to be something that would remind me of her every time I came to work, so Infinity Art Glass just made sense. I've also had to hire on other people to help me in the gallery, to sell work and package and do some cold working and that sort of thing. And luckily, my family I'm very close with, I've been able to have people come in and help me out. My brother does a lot of the grinding and polishing. Lynn, my mother-in-law, helps me do some of the packing and shipping and running the gallery. And of course, my wife, Gwen, she helps out in the gallery and does a lot of the bookwork and keeps me out here doing what I love to do, which is blowing glass. It's sort of a family business now, and I love every part of it. I started making really small things because that's what you have to do. But as I've progressed through the years, I've started to create some pretty big pieces of work. Because of that, I've had to hire on an assistant to help me. Adam has been a friend of mine for years. I started blowing glass with him very early, but he's always helped me over the years. But I'm finally able to hire him on to help me because these pieces are so huge. They might weigh up to 30 pounds, and it's 30 pounds of glass. If you're just holding 30 pounds in your hand, that feels pretty heavy. But you put it on the end of a blowpipe, it's never closer than 2 feet from my hand, so you have this huge lever that's pulling it down to the ground. And you add 2,000 degrees to it, the thing feels like 90, 100 pounds on the end of the blowpipe. And that's a lot physically for me to be able to handle. So I hired Adam on to help me, and Adam's a great glass blower, and he's really been able to assist me in making pieces that I really want to make. I would never have been able to do this stuff and do it consistently without him here. Before I even had the idea that I wanted to blow glass, we'd had our son, Cal. He was probably 6 months old when I started blowing glass. Kind of a big leap of faith when you have a kid that young and give up your teaching job to go do something that you've never even tried before. If I wouldn't have at least tried it, I would have regretted it for the rest of my life. You know, nobody wants to have those regrets, so it just seemed like the right time to do it. When Cal was about 2.5, we had our first daughter, Claire. She has special needs. She has microcephaly and cerebral palsy and some other things that go along with that. She probably will never walk or talk, but she's just an amazing individual. I feel like we've been blessed to have Claire. She's just an amazing kid. It's amazing how much influence she's had on so many people's lives, just even in her short life that she's had so far. It's amazing how many people she's influenced, and way more than I probably ever will in my life. We made the decision after we'd had Claire that we wanted another kid, no matter what the outcome, no matter what they had as far as a diagnosis or anything like that. We had another child, Lola. She has the same condition as Claire. So it's one of those things that, you know, you probably wouldn't wish anything like that on your kids, but at the same point, they are just amazing kids. We've built so many relationships with so many people across the country because of our girls, more than anything. They've traveled with us all over the country and really have done so much.
Without ever having spoke a word or walked, talked, anything, they have a really big impact on a lot of people, and it's hard to talk about. It's emotional, but we love them.
It's just like anything else. I mean, any parent knows this. I mean, you love your kids, however they are. Short, tall, fat, skinny, we all love our kids. I guess we just don't know any better. We just love them to death. So they're just fantastic kids, and they've changed my life more than you can even imagine.
They force you to focus on what really matters. Probably love more than you would otherwise.
Definitely. There's nothing that makes me happier than to have a relationship with someone through my artwork, to know that they absolutely love what I've created for them. I do tons of custom work for people. I feel like that makes me different than a lot of other glassblowers. Most glassblowers have a set grouping of pieces that they make, but for me, I want to create work that people can put their own spin on. Do different colors, different shapes, to create a piece of work that I not only love, but they do also.